Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Paul Jost with Jost Tech Inspection Services. I wanted to talk to you today about a problem that I've run into yesterday and many times in my time doing what I've been doing for 12 years. Yesterday, again, I was called to an apartment. It's the bottom floor apartment of a big complex. So there's three apartments up, and the bottom one is always lower than the ground in some areas because most of these apartments are not built on level ground. They're built, where the land is cheap, or, there might be a little bit of water next door, or all the different things that can happen. But this is the same thing that I have seen happening in apartments for the last 12 years. And I figured out what's going on. I figured it out a long time ago. But I was in this apartment yesterday. Yesterday morning, I went in, and the tenants were probably in their 20s. A young couple, they didn't have kids yet, which is a good thing. They'd been sick the whole time they'd been in the apartment and finally realized it might be mold. Well, I found a lot of mold in their apartment. But the interesting thing I want to show you is right here. This black. That's actually a piece of wood. That's part of the tack strip that holds the carpeting down. There's actually two tack strips here, one there and one there. And the older one is the one that's completely black. And if you look right behind my head right here, you can see it's on the carpet also. I'm pretty sure this is the toxic black mold Stachybotrys because it was so wet. It was soaking wet. The reason that it's soaking wet is when these apartments are built, they do the foundation first all the way around the exterior. Then they fill that with sand, and then they put the plumbing fixtures in. When the plumbing fixtures and all that stuff is in, then they pour another slab for the bottom floor. Well, what happens is there's a little tiny gap between the foundation and the slab. And that little tiny gap ends up with water percolating up as the water flows underneath the apartments and gets stuck, and it comes up into the apartments just like what you're seeing in this picture. If you have a young person looking for an apartment, do not let them get a bottom floor apartment. In one of them that I was in the last 3 or 4 weeks, they got a better deal because it was the bottom floor apartment. So they saved $200 a month, but everybody got sick. So I've had an attorney working with people. I think she's working with 4 of my people right now with this same problem over and over and over again. I have several apartment complexes that have worked with me to figure out how to seal that water problem, and a couple of them here in Kitsap County that I've been working with. So anyway, I wanted to put this out to you. This is Stachybotrys. This is the bad stuff. There's no doubt in my mind. And the whole apartment was wet, and the humidity was about 70%, which we've talked about before. 70% is way higher than it should be. 50 is what's optimal. So I'm telling you that this is what I run into occasionally, but it's really disheartening to see how the apartment complexes really take advantage of the young people that aren't making very much money, barely make their rent every month, and then they have to put up with this stuff. So anyway, just a word for you guys to put out there. Keep your kids from being in the bottom apartment or anybody else you know. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, and we'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.